Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Leader Class Optimus Prime from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. Now the first thing you might be saying to yourself, man, he looks really small in that box. And it's true, he does. He's definitely a Voyager class figure with some extra stuff, and that kind of seems to be Hasbro's new MO when it comes to Leader Class figures. I'm wondering if it's just they feel like Voyager is kind of the best size. If figures are too large, maybe they're too difficult to transform, or maybe they're just really into doing Voyager class with kind of play sets in the background. I don't know, but that kind of seems to be where we're at this time. So really cool artwork here for Prime on the side. I like that quite a bit. Over here you have the kind of standard Earthrise mural that we have going on. Not really anything going on the top or bottom. On the back, it shows Optimus in his robot mode. Kind of the robot mode like inside the trailer. Sometimes you see the trailer stand up and act as kind of like a repair bay type of situation. They also have him lying down in the repair bay. And then here is the cab with the trailer, which I have to say, at least on the back of the box, looks pretty darn good. So I'm excited for this guy, more so than I thought I was going to be. Also, something to note real quick, you'll see the packaging has the yellow eyes, but the toy has the blue eyes. So that was something when initial pictures first came out and I saw the yellow, that seemed very Japanese to me. I was like, that kind of looks like Star Convoy. Is that a mistake or something? And a friend of mine was like, doesn't the original toy have yellow eyes? And I was like, yeah, I guess it does, but we're so used to blue-eyed Optimus from the cartoon and pretty much every toy that's happened since then, that it seemed weird to me. Like, I get it, if they had chose the yellow eyes, it's an homage to the original toy and I can appreciate it, but I think it was correct to ultimately go with the blue eyes, so we'll see how it works out. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get him out of the packaging here, and we're going to take a closer look. So here is Optimus Prime out of the packaging. I have to say, he looks really sharp. I do like the robot mode quite a bit. It definitely looks like Optimus. I don't love these wheels on the butt, but that's pretty much my only complaint for the robot mode. He definitely looks pretty good. The trailer, I guess we'll get into the trailer now. It's not bad. It's definitely smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought this would be a little bit bigger, and I gotta be honest, if you kind of think of the fact that Optimus is basically a Voyager class figure, because that's how big he is, there's no lie there, he's a Voyager class, I don't see this trailer being worth an extra $20 on its own. I don't. I mean, the blue, nice paint on the front, the red Autobot symbol, also nice, same on both sides, so I appreciate that. You can see how it has these little legs down here for when it's on its own. Obviously, you can push them back up and it's got the peg for when you hook it up in tractor trailer mode. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and put this back out. You open it up right down the middle, and I'll move Optimus out of the way just for a moment so we can look at this. And then this comes down. Let me tilt the camera here. It's a lot of gray. Most of the times, I believe at least, with the original Optimus, I think this was a different color. I feel like this was blue, or maybe I'm thinking of the G2 one. I will be honest that I never had the original. I only had the G2 Optimus, and this was black, and these pieces were blue. So, like, I like the little robot. I like his little grabby hands. I think that's fun. I'm really missing a roller, though. I gotta be honest. I'm kind of hoping what they're gonna do is come up with a little roller Micromaster and give that to us in a 2-pack or something, because I think that would be really cool. They need to do something. They need to give us some kind of roller. I would love for them to make him into a Micromaster. I think that'd be great. So give us that in a future 2-pack or something. Give us a roller. But otherwise, you have the ramp, which is fine. I don't love the peg being right in the middle of the ramp. I understand it's because this little piece can come off, and he can use it as kind of like a shield. So he can just kind of peg into the side of his arm and be a little shield. It's not really that impressive as a shield in my opinion, but hey, it's there. It's got the standard connection bits, so it should be able to connect to any of the other ramps or other various pieces, and then it just slides back down like so and clips in there. So, like, I like this as a trailer. I just wish it was a little bigger. And I wish it just had a little bit of color. Like I said, if they had molded this in maybe blue or something, just to break it up a little bit, just because it's just gray. But, it does what it's supposed to do. It's a little base for little Micromaster dudes. so you can have the cars around and going up and down the ramp, and that's great. The other thing is, I believe the original toy had, instead of having things like this, it had pylons that came out so that they stabilized it, but also gave these like a natural stopping point. And this doesn't have that, so like it just kind of over time that weight is going to hang on that, and there's nothing, like the joints are plenty tight, but that old toy had something to kind of keep that up, and this doesn't, so that's kind of a bummer as well. But like I said, these little hands are on ball joints, which is cool. This lifts up, and you can actually slide this off. It's just two little pegs right there, and he can wear it as a backpack. So hold on, I'll bring this in. Alright, so as you can see, I've taken this piece off. You see it has a peg right there. You can go ahead, he's got one big peg hole in the back. So you can peg that in there, and then it can kind of, I guess I should have moved the camera up more, but in any case, I mean, it looks kind of goofy, I'll be honest. Even if you like fold the arms back and just have him use it as a laser cannon or something, it's still a little goofy, in my opinion. But it's neat that they, you know, they kind of just have an option. Now you could have this retract all the way in and maybe flip it around and just pretend it's like a jetpack or something, because it does kind of have those boosters there, so you could do something like that. I don't know. I appreciate that they add the functionality in, but I just think it's a little silly. But like I said, I appreciate added functionality. But yeah, I just wish this was a little bigger. And even if you close this up, so you have to be careful, because if you put the hands like all the way back like that, they will kind of get in the way when you go to close it. So you kind of have to like make sure they're not all the way out so that they'll clear. Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed, but these are already starting to give way as I like move it around. I really wish they had the swing out pylons, because it really does make a difference for the sides of the trailer as well as for stability. But if you have this like this, you bring in one of your deluxe cars. Nope, doesn't fit. And that's kind of a bummer to me, because I always thought that was really fun with Prime's trailer when he could keep like a little car inside. Now you could probably do like a legend size car, like if you have some mini bots, Gears, maybe somebody like that. Unfortunately, I don't have handy. You could do that. You know, Micromasters, of course, you know, they can drive inside and close it up, and that's fine. But I kind of wish it could fit. I mean, and that's the thing. It's close. It's really close. It just needs to be like half an inch wider, and then it could do it. I mean, the height is not really a problem. I mean, you could probably make it half an inch taller as well, but... And that's just kind of my main complaint with the trailer. I just think, if you think that there's basically $20 of worth in this trailer, because this dude is a $30 Voyager class, I don't feel that this trailer is worth the extra 20 bucks for the size and what it does. It's kind of barren. It's definitely very gray. Just a splash of color, something in here, maybe another little component. I mean, there's plenty of like little pegs, so you could peg Battle Masters or anything else in there that you want. So there's lots of potential to connect things to this, especially with the ramp and everything. And it's not bad. And if you're just trying to have it be a little base for Micromasters, it's not terrible. You can kind of have one stand over here if you want. I don't know. I just felt like that trailer that came with the Cyberverse Prime, I feel like did more than this one does. And that's just kind of a shame. And if I feel like, okay, if it didn't do much, but it was a little bit bigger, again, I'd feel like the value was there. If you could, because you can like drive him in here and he can kind of sit inside. It just can't fit closed up. So if they had just made this, you know, maybe a half an inch wider, half an inch taller, I feel like it would substantiate, and I don't think it would look weird with the cab, because I thought about that later when I've had it combined with the cab and it looks good. But if it was a little bit bigger, I still think it would scale fine with the cab. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I wish this did a little bit more. I just feel like for what you're paying theoretically for this, I feel like it should be a little bit bigger. Alright, now that we have the underwhelming part of the set out of the way, let's talk about Optimus, because this is a cool figure. I really like this guy quite a bit. I think he looks good. He's very clean. he really looks like a good Optimus figure. Like I said, my only complaint are these wheels on the butt. It's not a big deal because in robot mode you really don't see them. I should say from the front. Autobot symbol on the shoulder looks good. Articulation wise, head is on a ball joint, so that's looking all over the place, up and down, side to side. Swivel in the shoulder, out to the side. You have bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. Wrist rotates. The hands actually open, and that's like a one pin rod there that all the fingers move together, but that's really cool. Now, even though he has this weird butt wheels thing, he does still have some torso articulation, which is cool. Out to the side for the hip, front to back, bicep, not bicep, this is his thigh. He does have a bicep, but also thigh swivel. 9 degrees there in the knee, and then of course he's got that ankle tilt that these are all known for now. And he looks good. The gun's not bad. I feel like the gun leaves a little bit to be desired, but the cool thing is, even without the fingers, it just fits in there nice. Because like the way the hands are kind of, like you can see how it's kind of got like the circle to slide in there even without the fingers, so I appreciate that. You can fold this in half and then use this peg to peg it onto his back if you like. It can also peg in vehicle mode like that. We'll get there later on. So you have some weapon storage options, which is pretty cool. So I like that. But yeah, he's got great articulation. He looks good. Parts of him kind of look a little metallic, like with the paint and everything, which I appreciate. So he definitely looks good. And I also want to do real quick, here is the animation color Siege Voyager class Optimus. Now, like I said, you can see these guys are the same size. I think they even share components. Like the legs look very similar. I will say that this guy has this piece here and all in the back molded in a light gray. But as far as I can tell, that it doesn't move. Like it almost looks like it should be able to like transform or come apart, but it's definitely not part of the transformation. It looks solid. So I'm not sure why that wasn't just molded in the same blue as the rest of the leg, because then it would blend in better and then it would just look even cleaner. But like what I was saying, I like how the arms are nice and clean. They're just rectangles, no problem. They don't have any kibble hanging off the side like Siege Prime does. The backpack, he does not have a backpack. Now he does have the little butt wheels, but I feel like that's not as big as the backpack. Not that I super minded the backpack on Siege Prime, but see how like this all moves around, and I feel like they took the same legs and they just had to fill that empty space because it was needed for him, but it's not needed for him, so they just filled it in with this gray plastic. Why didn't they just make it all blue? Then his legs would be all solid blue. It would really blend together. But there you go. There is a comparison, and you can see they're about the same size. I like both of them. I really do. I just think this guy is a very solid looking Prime. This guy's more stylized, but I like that, especially with the cell shaded animation there going on, artwork, paint job, whatever you want to call that. But this is a very solid classic Prime, and I think that he really looks good. But I wanted to at least show them off side by side there. So I think he looks really, really cool. Now, before we get into the transformation, I want to take the gun out of his hand temporarily. He does have another cool surprise. You can go ahead and open up his chest here, and you see he has a little matrix of leadership, and you can take that out. It does come out. Sometimes it's a little easier said than done. Oh, come on. I swear it comes out. Okay, it looks like it's really caught on this side. It's kind of funny the way you... Sometimes it's easier to kind of tilt this back so you can get these out of the way, but as you kind of push it in on one side, it pops that out on the other, but it's hard to... Oh, come on. There it is. I told you it can come out. So here we go. Here is the Matrix of Leadership. It's very tiny, but it's painted nicely. You have nice silver paint. The tan for the outside, the blue kind of see-through plastic there is nice. It's a little hollow on the back, but it's not a problem. But it looks cool. I like it. I really think it looks cool. Now, the only bummer, his chest is just a little too big. I was trying to see if he could hold it. Maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe if I try to hold it above his head. Let's try that. I couldn't hold it in front of his chest, because they were just too, it just didn't fit. What do we think? Can we get it over the head? Oh, I think we can do it over the head. I think this dream's going to come true right here. Yeah, and I have it upside down. Okay, hold on. Please stand by. I'm going to get this. Oh, there it is. Now, come on. Look at that. That's awesome. Like, that's totally cool. He can't hold it in front of his chest because his chest is too boxy, unfortunately. But that's really cool. I love the fact that he can hold it up like that. I can't believe I didn't think about that till just now. And you can even tilt the head back to look up at it. That's really cool. I like that. That's a fun little thing they added that Siege Prime definitely does not have. I love that they included it. Like I said, just around the front of his chest, he just can't reach. But I really appreciate that. I think that's a really cool thing that they added in. It looks good. It's tiny, but it's painted very nicely. And the cool thing is, when you're transforming him, it doesn't get in the way, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. Let me put this back in, and then close it back up. And it stays in there nice, doesn't get in the way. So that's really cool. I love that. I love the inclusion of the Matrix. That's a really nice feature. Let's go ahead and let's get into this transformation. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, come around to the arms, and the sides will actually open up like this. And then you just fold the hand inside and close it back up. And that's very simple, but very smart. I love how that works. I mean, now the hand's not in the way for the transformation, but you don't have any weird kibble hanging off. It's just very simple. Open up, swivel inside, close it up. Nice. Now you're going to come down to the bottom, and you're just going to kind of make sure that's all straight. Push the two legs together, and they will snap. So that's it. You don't transform the legs really at all. You're going to close up the feet, though. And you can see he does have the ports on the bottom of his feet, so if you want to connect stuff on there, you can. I should have pointed it out. There's connections here, 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 one on the back. This is for the trailer mostly, but he's got plenty of connection points. So you're going to come around to the back. You're going to flip out, I should say, his butt wheels. And then that's going to completely rotate down 180 degrees. You're going to kind of put the arms out to the side. You're going to spin him around at the torso 180. You are going to flip back this whole piece like this. Then there's another hinge right here. You can see the pin right there. This is going to flip out like this. And then this is going to flip out again like that. And that's really cool. That's something that I have not really seen in an Optimus toy before, and I really like that. And like I said, you didn't have to move. The Matrix is still inside there. You didn't have to play with that at all. This flips out all the way like that. These flip out here. Like so, pretty much flat. Then you're going to bring this back down. Make sure the arms aren't in the way. Kind of lay these down like this. This is going to fold back in, and then this whole thing is going to fold back down and clip on like that. And now you can see we have the whole front of the cab. Come around to the back, flip this down, head rotates in, close it back up. You can see that there's a tab right there, tabs into that. Simple. Next you're going to bring the arms around like you've done for every Optimus in your entire life. Then you're going to bring, oh, I forgot this part. This part's also kind of cool. So you can see these torso pieces. These flip around and go in here like this. And that's so that you can bring the arms in. Now there is a little tab right there that you just kind of have to make sure just kind of sits in this recess. So just be careful when you're popping this in that that doesn't get in the way. But then you're going to just do that. Put the arms in there as they go. You're going to bring this up. The entire hip rotates up like so. But before you do it all the way, these two little panels, you're going to flip up like so. This one, for some reason, is always a little difficult for me. There we go. And they have these little tabs right here and here. And it says that they're supposed to, like, loosely tab in to the bottom of the arms here, And I mean, they kind of do. They really just kind of sit. I wouldn't say like hardcore tabs. They just kind of sit in there. Yeah, I can't really get it to, like, it doesn't really hardcore tab. Just kind of sits. But now coming around to the front, I'm pretty sure you can figure out how the rest of this goes. You just start closing doors, making sure all these tabs just go into place, and boom, there's your cab. You come down here to the back of his thighs, and you flip out these little drums, little gas tanks. That's kind of cool. I like that. So you still have some connection ports here in vehicle mode. You can take that gun, fold that in half like this, and then this plugs in like so. Just kind of stores in there. And then we're going to bring that trailer back in. Flip that up. Tab. Hitch right there. Drop it in. Boom. There is your trailer. And I'm not going to lie. It looks good. He really does. I think he looks good. And even without the trailer, just for a minute, this kind of reminds me of the original toy. Especially like if we take this gun out. Take that off for a second. Like, I don't know. It's a very simple, boxy cab, but I like it. I think it works. It's very solid. It's very bright and colorful. Very nice metallic paint. I love the silver everywhere. The blue used for the windows and the headlights. Even got a little window on the side there. Can't go wrong with that. It's all very nice. It's all very sharp, and I like it. I'm going to pop this back in here, and then we'll go ahead and drop the trailer in. And I mean, it all rolls very nice. You can bend, so you can make turns, and that's all good. And so I really do think it looks good together with, like I said, if you would make this just about that much taller, and maybe just about that much wider, I don't think, like, if it was just maybe like this much more on each side, I don't think it would look out of place. And maybe just about that much taller. I think it would still be in scale with the cab. And then you could fit your cars. Where did I put Wheeljack? Here he is. You could put your cars inside. I mean, when you have them just like him on the side, they look good. They scale together. If you take this off and just kind of put these next to each other, they're about the same size. So I think the cab is great. I think the robot mode, the cab, the transformation is intuitive, but really fun and interesting. So, like, I can't applaud this enough. I just think this is a little lacking. But when you put them together, they do look good. So, I mean, you can't deny that looks like G1 Optimus. I mean, in that goal, they absolutely crushed it. So just a couple other things real quick. For anyone wondering, yes, Siege Prime can use the trailer from Earthrise Prime. It can still turn and everything. Doesn't look as good paired together, but it is possible. I'm going to take him out of the picture there. Let me zoom out. So they do have this acting as like a repair bay. So if you open this up, and you flip this guy back up. That's the other thing. Every time I go to lift him up, it does this hinge, which I don't want to happen. But if you take Prime and you lay him down, I guess you really should if you're gonna lay him down like this. He really kind of needs the whole area. So then you could bring this up and have him work on him like this. So that is a possible thing. Like we saw on the packaging, you can stand it up if you prefer. Let me tilt this up. You can kind of have them stand in here and have them get worked on. They always tout that as a feature. I don't know. To me, it's not really that great. But it is possible, so I wanted to show it off quick. That's pretty much it for the trailer. Like I said, I feel like that's my biggest disappointment is the trailer with this. Let's see, I'll bring the box back in here. try to wrap this up. I guess I'll have to bring this up or something so I can fit everything in the shot at the same time. There we go. That'll work. So I think this Prime figure is great. After buying 2 of the Siege version, I was like, I don't know, do I really need another Optimus? Well, he comes with the trailer. All right, fine, you tricked me, I'll buy it. But I gotta be honest, this is a great Optimus figure, and as much as I did like the Siege version of Optimus, I think this is better. It's cleaner, he doesn't have as much kibble. I still don't really like the butt wheels, but I can get past it because they're not super obvious from the front of the robot mode. But I mean, he's got no kibble on the arms, the legs look nice. It's a very classic, nice looking Optimus. I'm glad they went with the blue eyes over the yellow. I could have lived with the yellow. I mean, looking at the back of the packaging, the yellow is kind of growing on me, but I think the classic blue eyes was the way to go. I think that looks sharp. Classic Optimus, he looks really good. I like the metallic hands. I like the opening hands with the fingers, even though you don't really need them. You know, the gun will peg into his hand just fine. By the way, where is his gun? There we go. Let's put this back in. So I think it's great. I think this is a great Voyager Optimus. Now, is he worth, like, if he was 30 on his own, 100%, I'd say pick him up. The trailer. Here's the thing. It's not bad enough to deter you from this. I still say pick this release up. It's fun. But this could have been a little bit bigger. Maybe make this guy out of blue or something just to give a little bit of a pop of color. I mean, I assume what they're mostly going for is to make it a Micromaster base, because that's kind of what the big theme of Siege and Earthrise is. They brought Micromasters back. They're doing Micromaster bases. And don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. I love Micromaster bases and playsets. Definitely something that I love. So if you're trying to make the trailer into like a Micromaster base, you have the ramp, you have the connector here. You know, for those buttons, it checks those blanks and it works for that. But I just feel like there could have been a little bit more to the trailer because like I said, when you compare the fact that this would be worth 30, then you have to think that the trailer is worth 20. I mean, it's just simple addition, subtraction. So is the trailer worth $20? In my mind, no. I like what it does, and if this set was 40, I'd be like, yeah, sure, for 10 bucks, that trailer is great. For 20, I feel like it definitely could have had something else to it. Now, maybe they could have given us a little roller Micromaster. I think that would have been totally worth it. Because if you think of the fact that a Micromaster is worth about $5, if you think about they charge 10 for 2 packs of $5. Now, I'm not saying what goes into developing, engineering a Micromaster. I'm not talking that. I'm just talking about what they sell a Micromaster to me for. It's a $5 value if you charge 10 for 2 pack. So if they would have just made a little roller Micromaster and just thrown that in, then I'd be like, absolutely. They had to minimize the trailer so they could give us that little Micromaster. I'm down for 50. You mean the trailer's, he's 5, the trailer's 10, 15-ish, he's 30. There's your $50 value, aces. I would have been totally on board for that. I just feel like it's a big bummer to me that you can't fit deluxe size cars in here. And it's so close. That's the other thing. It's so close. It just needs like a half an inch wider, maybe half an inch taller. And then you could fit him in there. So to come so close and miss the mark, I think is a bummer. But as a Micromaster base, I think it's fine. But again, it's very monotone color-wise. It's very kind of boring. It doesn't do a whole lot. I know I'm just going on, beating a dead horse here, but that's my biggest complaint. The Optimus figure, fantastic. He's great. Robot mode's great. The vehicle mode looks great. The transformation is really fun. And I love the way the chest opens up into a fold, unfold, unfold, and then compresses down so tight. That's really cool to me. That it's really fun to transform back and forth. It just works. It's very easy to remember. It's very intuitive. I think this robot mode, this figure here, is perfect. I love it. Okay, it's not perfect. He's got butt wheels, but he's very nearly perfect. This seems a little phoned in. Do I think that means you shouldn't pick this up? No. I think there's fun to be had with the trailer. You're going to connect it to some other Micromaster base you have, or Omega Supreme or something like that, and there's going to be fun because it has the ramp connector. This little robot guy is kind of neat. So there's fun to be had there. I just feel like it could have a little bit more for what I'm paying for it. That's my only complaint. But I definitely still recommend grabbing this. And I think the other leader class case mate is Astrotrain. So if you missed him in Siege, you got another opportunity. Definitely grab Astrotrain. He's really fun as well. Um, but yeah, I like this guy. I think I even like him more than Siege Prime when it comes to the robot here. He's great. I really do like him. But again, I'm droning on. So that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to wrap it up. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I did enough comparisons and you know, does this fit with this? Because I tried to rack my brain. I was like, what would I want to know? I want to see where this goes. Does this work with this? So hopefully I covered everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.